Hello everyone, Pavlov is you, and here is your three-dimensional daily dose of Ukrainian accent. Company Sivga are pretty well known as the creators of cost-efficient headphones with great look and good sound tuning. And their model SV021 became pretty popular a few years ago. Recently they decided to revamp this model and to release SV021 Pro or Robin Pro as it's also named. And here they've used new 50mm dynamic driver, they changed design, but most importantly they changed sound tuning. Price remained unchanged, they cost €200 or $180 depending on the market, which is a pretty good price point nowadays. So let's have a closer look. Traditionally for Sivga, box is made in minimalistic style. This time they decided to use black cardboard with texture instead of the traditional recycled cardboard. On the back side you can see technical specifications. Most interesting for us are sensitivity and impedance. And based on impedance and sensitivity you can see that they are average in terms of driving simplicity. So let's go inside the box. Really tightly fitting lid. And inside you'll get headphones themselves, so no protective case in this price range, but their cases are really expensive. So storage pouch they use sometimes, and the stock cable and 6.3mm adapter, so just the basics here. As usual, build quality is really nice despite the budget price. Here they used a lot of metal, good pleather, fabric and wood. So headband top part is made of pleather with company's logo, and the inner padding is made of fabric, so you'll get less overheating where it will touch upper part of your head. It has nice padding, and combined with a pretty light weight, it will distribute weight nicely, so they will be comfortable to wear. Clamping force is about average, not super strong, but at the same time they hold on head pretty well. So there is adjustment mechanism, and actually they fitting on my head in the minimal size position. But if you have a big head, there is a lot of space to adjust, and they have a really nice well-defined clicks. So if you're obsessed with setting both yokes retracted at similar position, it's pretty easy to do. So they changed color scheme a little bit. This is a darker version. You can see that it has nice grayish tint, which looks really nice. Oval cups, and also there is a version with silver parts and lighter wood. So cups are small. This part seems to be made of plastic, but at the same time they really care about comfort, and you can see they made ear pads in the horn-like shape, so they are extending to provide you more size, so your ears will fit better. So let's do approximate measurement. 77, which is pretty nice, and 57, and roughly 20 millimeters, so pretty spacious pads. And taking into account that they have perforation and fabric part here, your ears won't be overheating too much. Still a bit of extra heating will be present, but you can have longer listening sessions without rest. Pads are replaceable, so not magnet, but they hold with plastic hooks, so if you like you can replace them, but most likely it will take some time for them to wear. Cable is interchangeable. Here used modern classics 3.5mm connectors. So right and left, color coded, fitting nicely with good, well-defined click. Stock cable is kind of okay. It has fabric insulation, meaning that there is a bit of microphonic effect present, but not too much. It goes to the splitter, and after the splitter goes to the jack. It's average in terms of softness, so you can opt for some third-party cable, but not because it's some inferior cable in terms of sound, but to get less microphonics. Luckily, there are some affordable options on the market if you'd like to, but it's not something that is mandatory. So overall, in terms of exterior and build quality, it's a really good looking and comfortable pair. In terms of sound, for the Pro version, Sivga decided to do a slight retuning, adding more technicality, improving staging, and reducing overall weight and fun factor. It's still not like absolutely natural and monitoring headphones, but accent was reduced, and that made them, let's say, more audiophilic. But let's talk about everything step by step. So bass goes really deep. It's slightly accented, but accent is not huge. It's just to compensate our hearing and not to make some bold, weighted, dominating low frequencies. But at the same time, low frequencies are surprisingly for this price firm and impactful. When it's necessary and some deep bass punches are present, they deliver a really nice solid kick. Not bass head level, but really satisfying for not bass heads. Good amount of small nuances, so texturing is nice, and real instruments sounds pretty natural and full-bodied. Weight is good, but not overly saturated or boosted. So basically what is present in the record will be delivered. Speed is normal, resolution is also pretty decent for this price range. So let's go. First example, it's Angel by Massive Attack, and that's a good example of that deep bass hits, because in the intro section you're getting series of really deep, impactful kicks and solid bass foundation that feels almost like constant pressure on your ears. And these headphones do it really well as building that pleasant contrast between low frequencies and mids and treble to give you nice, satisfying contrast. And Ninna Nanna by Musica Nuda double bass sounds really nice, with all nuances, details, and at the same time not over boosted or pushed forward, so staying at its place and sounding engagingly natural. Mid frequencies have a bit of additional weight on the lower mids to give slightly more body to male vocal and instruments, but it quickly disappears when we transition to the middle mids and upper mids. And the upper mids are slightly more focused on the small nuances and micro contrast. Not too much, but there is a bit of additional hint of detailization, and that helps these headphones to give you more air and build a pretty impressive stage for closed back affordable headphones. It's not like super three-dimensional and huge, but still it has a bit of holographic sense, and the positioning of instruments is nice. It's not some super spacious like open back headphones can do, but for closed backs, staging is pretty nice. They are not super critical for the quality of record, but still better material will give you better results. If you're really sensitive for the upper mid boost, they can be a bit too aggressive for you, but I don't think it will be an issue for vast majority of people. Instead, you'll get a pleasant accent on the female vocals, aggressive guitars, and stuff like that. So, first example, Monde by Megadeth, and accented bass because of this extra weight on the lower mids, and nice aggressive guitars, and Mustaine vocal sounds like Mustaine vocals. So it's the thing on its own, and you won't mistake him for anyone else. So pretty good performance. And Nathaniel Rateliff and Night Sweets, few nice deep punches at the beginning, and then good reproduction of the vocal and the melody with all natural instruments. Treble is probably the most noticeable improvement in their sound compared to the regular non-pro version. Still, of course, don't expect something super layered or something super audiophilic. But for this price and for the closed back headphones, treble is really good and improvement is pretty noticeable. Extension is above average, noticeably above average, not maximum, but a lot of high frequencies. At the same time, they are not aggressive and not obtrusive. When something is wrong with higher treble, it won't be thrown right in your face. Really good basic overtones that make instrument sounds natural, and pretty decent advanced overtones that give you smaller nuances and decays. Proper attacks and decays for the high frequencies, meaning that weight is nice, and also really good energy distribution. They are not sharp and forward, but at the same time they are not laid back. So basically really good balance here, and pretty impressive results for the closed back headphones overall. So first example for the treble, it's Oblivious to the Night by Arena. Great vocal with lot of overtones, catchy tune, that typewriter sound that gives mood to this track, and all that is represented with nice amount of treble overtones. And Freddie Freeloader by Miles Davis, not perfect headphones for this track. Of course, you'll need something much more expensive and higher end to get the full of this track, but still pretty nice representation of the overtones, both for trumpet and keyboards, and also percussion sounding really pleasant with good saturation and substance. In terms of pairing, they definitely require some decent source, not in terms of power, but in terms of resolution and control that will allow them to show their strong sides. So some dongle deck from the segment, $80+ probably. Of course, it's just a rough estimation, not some kind of rule. Or some mid-segment player will be a good addition to these headphones. In terms of comparisons, two models came to my mind. First one is original SV021. They are more weighty, slightly warmer, more comfortable, with less technicalities and smaller, more intimate stage. Here you're getting more details, less worms, and more spacious sound. And the Fuse FT1, they are a bit more tight, a bit more impactful with slightly less treble. Here you'll get a bit less impact and forwardness on the mid frequencies, slightly less weight, but a bit more focus on the details on the upper mids, and more energy in the treble area. So overall, really good model in this price range if you're looking for a sound that leaning towards slightly more technical. Thank you for listening, thank you for your attention, and of course have a great day.